Good morning, friends. This is Vinay from DreamDex with another knowledge base on WordPress security. Today is more likely answering a very common question being asked from my fellow agencies and co-consultants. Uh, they often ask me that their clients tend to worry about WordPress security, and they no more believe in that, and they find pretty hard to convince their clients about WordPress security. uh, Even you have probably heard or read about it at one point or another that WordPress is no secure. Fearful for potentially falling victim to malicious behavior, you might be dealing with a client who is rejecting WordPress as a suitable CMS. But the truth is, as I said before, WordPress core is one of the most secure publishing and web development platforms you can choose to develop a site on. Uh, and I feel that most people don't realize that WordPress is just not like once set it and forget it system. Security is not about setting and forgetting. Rather, it's about taking every measures you can to harden your website to prevent it from being hacked. You know, it just up to it's not just up to WordPress uh, to implement security for you either. So unless you are using, say there are some managed services like wordpress.com, and this is a very largely asked question: what is the difference between wordpress.com and wordpress.org? Wordpress.com is a managed WordPress service where you will develop a site on that platform, and they will take care of your maintenance and including security. On the other hand, WordPress.org means you are responsible for your own site maintenance, including security. Uh, while WordPress already does a lot of things to harden its core, the coding, there is a shared responsibility between you, your hosting, your server, um, and WordPress to be vigilant about enforcing security best practices. So, if your client is rejecting WordPress due to security concern, there are a lot of things you can actually tell and convince them that WordPress is actually more bulletproof than they might realize. Well, as you all of you know, I mean, we have been continuously saying about it that the number one culprit of hacked WordPress website is due to its outdated extensions or outdated core. Uh, WordPress was not always as secure at it is now. Back, if you remember, back in 2009, when WordPress was on the brink of massive popularity, the CMS contained a number of security things that were exploited and picked up by the media. The platform received extreme criticism, and even the community used to say that WordPress needed to rise its game and become more secure and bulletproof. Uh, these security concerns, I believe, were first addressed in 2.8. That was a version where they they started a string of security patches to strengthen the code base. While security was on the shaky end then, today WordPress is quite secure after series of patches being introduced by WordPress. Uh, and you know that WordPress contributes such a huge amount of website development on internet. To be precise, is I mean, as per surveys, it's 28%, near to 30%, and near 1.2 billion installs. Uh, so that causes a big chance that they will end up on a WordPress website. Uh, as such, these security exploits are publicized when any high profile attack occurs. This gives WordPress a reputation of being less secure than comparable CMS like Drupal, and Joomla. However, this is completely inaccurate. The reality is, WordPress is secure enough for millions of end users and a number of Fortune 500 companies to trust their online business with. CMSs like Drupal and Joomla are not targeted as much because they are not as widely used as WordPress. While WordPress powers over half, I think I heard that it's more than 55% of all CMSs on the web. Drupal powers a mere 2% and Joomla 6% or so of the total CMS market. So when WordPress does get hacked, it's commonly covered by media outlets and the news. But what many people don't realize bring us to our next point, that is security. Most security exploits are a result of outdated component. By now, I think you understand that, right? Most security attacks on WordPress occurs due to plugins or WordPress core patches not being updated. Uh, of all the high profile exploits in recent years, each attack has targeted vulnerabilities that could have been avoided by a single update, a single click, my friends, believe me, a single click to update a particular plugin or WordPress core and things like that. Therefore, I believe it's not a fault of WordPress when these breaches occur in outdated components like plugin or themes. It's still your responsibility to update all plugins and themes to ensure they contain latest security patches. Also, it's up to you as an agency to familiarize and educate your clients regarding plugin and best practices about security of a theme and your WordPress code. While free plugins and themes are awesome, when browsing the plugin repository, make sure plugin theme has been updated recently and work with the latest version on WordPress. If if you activate a theme or a plugin that is more than an year old, you could be potentially opening up a portal of hackers because the extension will most likely not have been patched with the latest security patches. So you have to make sure that you're using a theme or a plugin which is up to date. Premium plugins or themes are less likely to contain security vulnerabilities because they are monitored and updated more regularly, right? uh, that's one benefit of paying for a premium component. So and as I suggested earlier, do not try to pirate premium themes or plugins. This is a bad idea because they most likely won't contain those security scripts to implemented with their code. Uh, well, you might not want to go alone with your website security. So there's always there are a lot of agencies like Dreamdex offers security audit services. Um, and friends, it's not just the WordPress. There are a lot of security vendors working quickly to detect and patch vulnerabilities. So the amount of knowledge the communities has got now with WordPress is as much as the WordPress developers. So according to WordPress, uh, you know, and I quote, security is about risk reduction, not just risk elimination, and the risk will never be zero. So no system is perfect. All of you know that. But as we have been saying that you should sign up with an agency which does security audit, or you should be aware enough that you can perform certain things on your website from security perspective. This is true not just for WordPress but for any system. That's why, in addition to WordPress core team, many third-party security providers work endlessly to detect fixed vulnerabilities. For example, you must have heard about the 4.7 security bug that was about the breach through the REST API. So a lot of community developers and freelancers actually noticed it and reported pretty quickly to WordPress, and they fixed it in the next patch. So community also plays a pretty big role, and the reason why I'm saying it, the sheer amount of knowledge this community has got now, will make you feel that you can go with the vendor that does security updates for you. Uh, Friends, WordPress is as secure as you want it to be. If you want your site to be shielded with layers upon layers of security shields, then you can. But neglecting security will only result in exposure to vulnerabilities. It's your duty and your client's duty to take additional measures to harden the security for WordPress, where your website is built. Uh, with the help of a security audit agencies like Dreamdex, security is taken to the next level. And we have been continuously recommending all the best practices to WordPress security, like enforcing strong passwords, using two-factor authentication, using SSL for data security, and and securing your login and the user role access. And again, the big question: getting your clients in the right mindset for for WordPress security. By now, I mean, going through all the stuff that we've been recommended, by now your client hopefully feels more comfortable with WordPress when you explain all these, security methodology to them. While WordPress is a common target, it's not easy to get hacked if you are taking the right precautions. As an agency, you might have you might not have time to implement every security measure. While you can educate your client for security best practices like updations and strong passwords, they will feel even more secure knowing their site is placed on a digital experience platform that provides a strong security environment. And as I said in my earlier article, take an example of a hosting framework like WP Engine. WP Engine is a hosting framework that is specifically designed for WordPress websites, that provides you managed patching and updates, real-time security threat detection, you know and so on. I mean, they don't really a security audit agency, but there are certain things, parameters that they take to make sure there is no injection to your website. As soon as they find that there is anything malicious on your website, they notify you immediately, and they stop that those things to be executed on your website. uh, Keeping your site secure is just one of those many features Dreamdesk security audit services offer to you. uh, if you have any question about security and WordPress in common, you can contact us or leave a comment. uh, but it's very important to educate your client that WordPress is just not a mere CMS that is vulnerable to the hackers. It is it is a very strong CMS, very secure. It's just that you need some extra precautions to maintain your website on WordPress. Friends, I wish you a good day ahead, and contact us if you need us. Thank you.